Attendance ಬಿಡ್ವಾ?
Okay, then.
ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೂ.
ಇದು ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಟ್ರೀಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ?
ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿವನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳು.
ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್.
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೆಸೇಜ್ ಹಾಕಲು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಕೇಳ್ಸತ್ತಾ?
Okay, you know that the trial class I had talked about the introduction. I'm handling income tax for you, and it is income tax 1. You have in both the semesters, the first semester, 5th as well as 6th semesters, 3 heads of income. Anyway, I have told you that you should know something about the tax and the introduction to tax. We have revenue authorities. Revenue authorities are public authorities. Public authorities. I told you that we have 3 levels of government in India. The central government, you have many state governments, you have local governments. So 3 levels of government, 3 forms of governments in India or Indian context: central government and local governments, by whatever name they are called as, Zilla Parishads, Panchayats, or whatever, corporations or whatever they call them. So in Muru Seri, they are called as revenue authority, public authorities. Public authorities, they have got 2 important activities. They have got 2 important activities.
All of you present in the live chat to take part.
2 activities: public revenue, public expenditure. Public revenue, public expenditure. All of you type present name and present, because I have to take the attendance. That's why. Write your name, last 3 digits, and present in the live chat. So public revenue, public expenditure, they are the 2 activities of the various public authorities. Public revenue andre another public revenue, we get basically some 3 or 4 items at your level. Public fees, cess. Normal agi 3 barutte. Public revenue olige, I'll repeat: tax, fees, cess. Fees, you know that you got a lot of different kinds of fees. Registration fees ide, yavadara property register agbekkare, or yavade activities government inda permission togobekare on application hakre fees anta irutte. That's what is the fees. Cess, electricity antavella you supply madre, actually electricity charge anta karibaardu. Electricity cess, water cess. So cess andre government gives you some facility, charges something, that is called as cess. Then tax, this is the basic thing we are going to deal with. That we'll come to that later. So tax, fees, cess, they account for the public revenue. Public expenditure and the amount spent by the governments on different public welfare projects. As I told you, that can be starting government schools, government colleges, government hospitals, building roads, canals, all these together, they are called as public expenditure. So public income, public expenditure, these are the two activities of the local governments. So my main thing now is tax. Now what is then a tax? A tax is a compulsory levy. It is a compulsory levy imposed by the public authorities on the public. It's a compulsory levy andre idu mandatory charge. Nimage government or tax haktaga agre kodtini anta helongilla. You have to give the tax. You have no option. You must pay whatever is the tax imposed by the public authorities. So compulsory levy charged by the public authorities on the public. This is what is a tax. Tax broadly can be considered as two types of taxes. One is a direct tax. Other one is indirect tax. You're offline. So direct tax, indirect tax, how to differentiate? When I'm talking about the tax, there are two concepts you have to understand. Taxpayer, tax bearer. Taxpayer, tax bearer. There are two concepts you have to understand. What is taxpayer? What is tax bearer? If I am remitting the amount of tax to the government, then I am called as taxpayer. If I am bearing the tax, andre, if it causes an out-of-pocket expenditure to me, then I am tax bearer. Taxpayer, tax bearer, they are not the same. They are different as far as their meaning is concerned. Naan hogi government ke 20,000 income tax kattini. None income mele. Then I am taxpayer because I am paying the tax to the government. I am tax bearer because it is causing an out-of-pocket expenditure to me. So if both of them happen, then it is a case of direct tax. Direct tax andre taxpayer, tax bearer, ಎರಡು ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು direct tax. Taxpayer is different, tax bearer is different. How this can happen? I go to a TV shop, buy a TV, he says the TV cost is 45,000 and charges a GST of say 18%. He charges a GST of 18%. Remember, ಅವನು ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ GST ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ತಗೊಂಡು ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಗೆ ಕಟ್ತಾನೆ. He is the taxpayer. But is he the tax bearer? ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ಅದು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ, ಅವನಿಗೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಿದೆಯಾ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ is no. Taxpayer, tax bearer, they are two different persons. Tax pay ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋನು ಅಂಗಡಿಯವನು ಹೋಗಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ನನ್ನ ಪರವಾಗಿ. Tax bearer ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್. That means if the taxpayer and tax bearer is not the same person, it is a case of indirect tax. So ಯಾವ ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ taxpayer tax bearer ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ ಅದು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ as I told you, ನಾನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ನನಗೆ ಅದು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನನ್ನ ಜೋಬ್ಗೆ ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. If that is the case, it is direct tax. Taxpayer, tax bearer, they are two different parties. It's a case of indirect tax. So direct tax, indirect tax, these are the two basic classifications of tax. Under the direct tax, the most important tax is income tax. This is my point of view now. So thereby we have come to tax. So I'll repeat the entire thing once again. We have public authorities or revenue authorities. It includes three levels of public authorities. Public authorities refers to the governments or governments at various levels. It includes in India three authorities or three levels public authorities: central government, state government, local government. All these public authorities have got two important activities: public revenue and public expenditure. Public revenue refers to the income or the amount earned by the public authorities. Public expenditure refers to the amount spent by the public authorities on various public welfare activities. Public expenditure includes the amount spent by the government in the form of building roads, canals, bridges, starting government schools, government colleges, government hospitals, and any kind of government institutions where you normally get it free of cost. They're all under public expenditure. Government correct national highways madilla andre ನಾವು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. Our traveling is eased because of the highways, and ಎಲ್ಲ highways it's built by the governments. ಯಾರೋ private individual ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು government ಪರವಾಗಿ ರೋಡ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ. So government sponsors all these things. Government bears the expenditure. That's why it is public expenditure. Public revenue, the amount earned by the public authorities, that may be tax, fees, and so on. So public revenue and public expenditure, there are two activities of the governments. Now coming to the tax, what is a tax? Tax is a compulsory levy imposed by the public authorities in the public. It is a compulsory levy. It's a compulsory levy. I have no option. That's why it is a compulsory levy. It includes direct taxes and indirect taxes. If the taxpayer and the tax bearer, they are two different parties, it is a case of indirect tax. Andre tax pay madode yaro, adu kharchaagtirode yargo. Athara idre it's a case of indirect tax. If the taxpayer and the tax bearer is the same person, it's a case of direct tax. So under the direct tax, the most important component is the income tax. Now coming to what is income tax? Income tax is a tax imposed by the income tax authorities on the income of the persons. So it's a tax imposed by the income tax authorities on the income of the people. And income tax, then how to define income tax as per the Income Tax Act? An income tax is a tax on the income of his own on his own income or the income of other persons in respect of whom he is chargeable to tax, and it includes penalty, interest, or any other amount charged by the income tax authorities either on his own income or in the income of some other persons in respect of whom he is chargeable to tax. It's a big definition, and I'll repeat once again. And there are a lot of components in this. Adella artha madkondre what is income tax gottagutte. Income tax is a tax imposed by the income tax authorities on the income of a person or on the income of other persons in respect of whom he is chargeable to tax, and it includes penalty, interest, or any other amount charged by the income tax authorities under this act either on his own income or on the income of the other persons. So these 2 points are there. So based on this, you got to be very clear. Some one or two classes you have to bear with the theory, because the theory correct problem income tax accounts taralla. You have to be very clear about the theory, only then you can do the problem. And therefore, as far as the theoretical aspects are concerned, don't take them lightly. You have to be very, very meticulous about the theoretical base, only then you can do the problem, because ella theory melene problems madodu. So income tax is a tax on the income of a person. Andre nanige 50 lakhs rupayi income barta ide, ನಾನು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. That is also income tax. Income tax is a tax on the income of persons. ಒಬ್ಬ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಫರ್ಮ್ ಇರಬಹುದು, ಕಂಪನಿ ಇರಬಹುದು. ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅದೇನು ಅಂತ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. There is a clear definition. ಸೊ ಯಾವ್ದು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇದೆ ಅವನಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್, ಆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ the persons in respect of whom a particular person is liable to tax. Illi confusion agutte. Heng gottagatte idu? For example, let me say your uncle has got 5 buildings in Bangalore, but he is not in India, he is in USA. He has given a power of attorney to you, andre nimmanna our representative ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ ಒಳಗೆ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ, ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಇಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ ರಿಪೇರಿ ಮಾಡಿಸಕ್ಕೆ, ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾರ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ, ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಓರಲ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಾರ್ನಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಹಿ ಇಸ್ ಎ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಆರ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಒಂದು 5 ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು 15 ಲಕ್ಷ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ರೆಂಟ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇದು ಯಾರ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಯುವರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್. ಹೆಂಗ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ಲಿ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಕಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ಅದು ನಿಮ್ದು ಯಾರೋ ದೊಡ್ಡಪ್ಪನ ಚಿಕ್ಕಪ್ಪನ ಯಾರ್ದೋ ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನೀವು ಕಲೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೂಮ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಅಸೆಸಬಲ್ ಟು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಯಾಕೆ ನೀವು ಅಸೆಸಬಲ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವೇ ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ಪವರ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಟಾರ್ನಿ ಹೋಲ್ಡರ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಎ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ 2 ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. ನನ್ನ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇದೆ, ನಾನ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆರ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೂಮ್ he is chargeable to tax. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮ್ಮನ್ನ ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ಮನೆ ಬಾಡಿಗೆ ಇಸ್ಕೋ, ಏನಾರ ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡು, ಆ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ನನಗೆ ರೆಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇಫ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಕೇಸ್, ಯು ಆರ್ ಕಲೆಕ್ಟಿಂಗ್ ರೆಂಟ್ ಆರ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ in respect of other person, that's therefore you are also liable to tax on the income of some other person. So ನಾನೇ ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರ ಪರವಾಗಿ ನಾನು ಅಸೆಸ್ಸಿ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, 2 ಪಾಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. Then income tax is a tax on the income of persons or income of other persons in respect of whom you are chargeable to tax, and includes any interest, penalty or any other sum charged by the income tax authorities either on his own income or the income of other persons who is in respect of whom he is assessable to tax. So then ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾರ್ಮಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ಡೇಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಡೇಟ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ ಡೇಟ್ ಒಳಗೆ ನೀವು ಕೊಡದೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ಸ್, ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್. ಆರ್ ನೀವೇನೋ ಬೇಕಂತಕ್ಕೆ ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, 52,000 ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ, ಬೇಕಂತಕ್ಕೆ 25,000 ಅಂತ ಬರೆದು ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರಾ. You have done something like that. In that case, they will charge penalty. Penalty andre to penalize you for your mistake. So income tax ಒಳಗೆ they may charge you interest, penalty or any other sum. Sometimes ಬೇರೆ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ನೋಟಿಸ್ ಕಳಿಸ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು it is called as income tax. ಅದು ಯಾರ ಪರವಾಗಿರಬಹುದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ either it may be on my own income or on the income of some other person in respect of whom I am chargeable to tax. So this is what is income tax. I'll repeat once again. Income tax is a tax on the income of persons or on the income of some other person in respect of whom he is chargeable to tax. It includes tax, interest, penalty or any other sum charged by the authorities either on his own income or on the income of some other persons. Then the question arises, who is then an assessee? In the income tax side, who is an assessee? So first let me go to persons, then assessees. Who is a person? Sorry, 11:10 ಹೇಳು. Sorry, 12:10. ಅಲ್ಲ 12:10 ಅಲ್ಲ, ಬರೀ 40 ಮಿನಿಟ್ಸ್. ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. then who are these persons? ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ತುಂಬಾ ವರ್ಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಐದರ್ ಆನ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಓನ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಆಫ್ ಸಮ್ ಅದರ್ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ. What is meant by person? Person is clearly recognized and included in the Income Tax Act. ಇವ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲದೆ ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಒಂದು ಸರ್ಕಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಒಬ್ಬ. ಆ ಸರ್ಕಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಒಳಗೆ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸರ್ಕಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿ ಇರೋ ಅನಿಮಲ್ಸ್ ನಾವೇನಾರ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಸರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಈ ಡೌಟ್ ಬರಬಾರ್ದು. ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅವರು ವೆರಿ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟೆಡ್ ಹೂ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಬಿ ಪರ್ಸನ್ಸ್. ನೀವು ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಇದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಒಂದು ಬೆಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. You should be first a person, then only you can be charged to tax. That's why income tax is the amount charged on the income of persons I used. Who are these persons? Persons includes one, individuals. Individuals. Any individual can be person, male, female, anybody can be. Andre normal, they are called as normal human beings. Or they can become persons, individuals. It can be partnership firms. Suppose A, B, C are trading as a partnership firm, or you have multiple partners. A partnership firm is, it rather qualifies to be a person. Partnership firm. That's the second inclusion under the purview of persons. 3, Hindu undivided families. There are many Hindu families where they do a joint business. Joint Hindu families, we call them. So, joint Hindu family business ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. Normal and traditional ಆಗಿ the Marwadi families, the Vaishya families, the Multanis, they conduct business as a family business. ಒಂದು 4 ಜನ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಥವಾ ತಂದೆ ಅಣ್ಣ ತಮ್ಮಂದಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಒಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. You know, the head is called as karta, others are called as co-partners. So a Hindu undivided family can be a part of the term persons, but be very clear, the term Hindu undivided family includes a Jain family and a Sikh family. It includes normal all Hindus. It includes 2 families, Jain families and Sikh families, SIKH. So all these people are considered as Hindu undivided families. Then the doubt arises to you. Suppose a family is conducting a joint family business. It is a Christian family or it's a Muslim family. But under the Income Tax Act, it's very clear that Hindu undivided family will not include the Muslim families or the Christian families. Our joint family business ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರುವೆ, there is nothing like MUF, CUF antilla income tax ಅಲ್ಲಿ. Christian undivided family, Muslim undivided family ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ಲ. We have only the Hindu undivided families, which include Jain and Sikh families. If you are trading as a Muslim undivided family or Christian undivided family, they are all brought to tax under the head individuals. Adra classification illa. So Hindu undivided family includes only the Hindu families by religion, and that of course includes Jain families as well as Sikh families. Then you have joint stock companies. Any person, any corporate can be considered as a person under the Income Tax Act. So you have L&T Limited, it can become an assessee. You have Infosys Limited, it can become an assessee or a person. So any corporate body can become a person under the Income Tax Act, that is joint stock companies. Then you have body of individuals or association of persons. Body of individuals or association of persons. What are these basically? For example, let me say there are 3 people, PQR, PQ and R. ಇವ್ರು ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಬ್ಬ P, ಇವನ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್. Q has got huge money. He is a financier. R, he is a person who has got a lot of influence to get the permissions, plans approved and so many things. You 3 ಜನ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದು ಬಿಲ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಕಟ್ತಾರೆ. They build a set of flats. They spend about 1 crore, sell it for about 100, say 2 crores. They are in a profit. The question arises, individuals are no, they are not individuals because there are 3 people. Firm andre no, they don't continue their venture. Firm andre, it should be a continuous venture with an agreement. ಅದು ಓರಲ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಎ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ವೆಂಚರ್. ಒಂದು ಸ್ಪೆಸಿಫಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮುಚ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅವರು, ಅದನ್ನ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅದು ಫರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಹಾಗಾದ್ರೆ HUF ಆದ್ರೆ ನೋ, ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಹಿಂದೂ, ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ, ಒನ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹಿಂದೂ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಹಿಂದೂ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಮುಸ್ಲಿಂ, ಒಬ್ಬ ಕ್ರಿಶ್ಚಿಯನ್ ಅಂತ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ಎ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ HUF. The joint stock company, no, they have not registered as a company. They are just doing business like that. Then the Income Tax Act says, don't leave them. ಅವ್ರು ಏನಾರ ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, 2-3 ಜನ, 2-3 ಕಂಪನಿ, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಯಾರು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ 3 ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, 3 ಫರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ they should be brought to tax under the head body of individuals or association of persons. ಸೊ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ 1 ಕೋಟಿ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ 1 ಕೋಟಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಅವರು ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಕಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅವ್ರು ಹೆಂಗ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹಂಚ್ಕೋಬಹುದು, ಏನ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. That is association of persons or body of India. That means they are not registered as a firm, they are not registered as a company, they are not individuals, they are more than 2 people or 2 or more people are there rather, then they should be brought to tax under the body of individuals or association of persons. Then you have local authorities. Local authorities. What is local authorities? You know, for example, BBMP. They own a lot of buildings. The corporation, the market place, market, the Jayanagar complex, it's owned by the BBMP. They get huge rent. There are a lot of other buildings. MG Road alli one building is there. That is also owned by the corporation. They earn huge money. Our individual alla, firm alla, HUF alla, JSC alla, BOI alla, yavu alla. If that is the case, do not leave them out of the purview of Income Tax Act. It is local authorities. Local authorities are either the corporations, metropolitan bodies, panchayats, Zilla Parishads, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. All of them together are brought under the head local authorities. Then it can be artificial juridical persons. Juridical persons. What are these? You have, for example, Bangalore Development Authority, BDA. ಅವ್ರ ಸೈಟ್ಗಳು ಮಾಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಫರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, HUF ಅಲ್ಲ, JSC ಅಲ್ಲ, BOI ಅಲ್ಲ, ಲೋಕಲ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಏನು ಅಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. That still they acquire land, make sites, sell the sites, or they build various flats, sell it to the various people. If they do like that, such authorities or such people are brought under the head artificial juridical person. That means they are the persons existing only in the eye of law. They are not really existent. They are not natural persons. They are artificial persons. They are not brought to tax under the head Indian Companies Act. Companies karibodu. Adu artificial andre no. They cannot be brought to tax under the Indian Companies Act. Such local authorities are known as artificial juridical. Sorry, such authorities are called as persons are known as artificial juridical persons. As I told you, it can be BDA, it can be MUDA, it can be DDA. There are so many persons who can be brought to tax under this head. So, to be charged to income tax, we must be first a person. So, the term person includes individuals, firms, HUF, which includes Jain families and Sikh families. It doesn't include the Muslim and the Christian families, joint stock companies, body of individuals and association of persons, then local authorities, artificial juridical persons. These are the various people. So this is what we mean by persons. So artificial juridical persons, we call them as the persons. So to charge income tax, I told you that income tax is under income of persons in respect of whom he is chargeable to tax. So term includes all these persons. Then the question arises, what is meant by an assessee? What is meant by an assessee? What is meant by an assessee? Okay, before that, let me go to what is meant by income. So income tax is the amount tax charged on the income of persons. Tax ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ. What is tax? Is compulsory levy. Persons. Who are the persons I've explained? What is then income? Income is any amount accruing to the assessee. Any amount accruing to the assessee during the previous year. So income is any amount accruing to the assessee during the previous year. ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಸೇರಿಸ್ಕೋ. For example, the term income includes income from salary, income from rent, income from capital gains, income from lottery, income from race, income from any kind of gambling, income from interest on securities, income from bank interest, ಯಾವ್ದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. The term income is inclusive definition and not exclusive or exhaustive definition. That's why income tax ಯಾವ ತರ ಡಿಫೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the term income includes any amount accruing to the assessee during the previous year and includes income from salary, income from other sources, income from rent, income from income from capital gains, income from business and profession, income from race, income from lottery, and finally end ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ and any other income ಅಂತಾರೆ. Any other amount accruing to the assessee ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. The reason is income is not a complete or exhaustive definition. It is an inclusive definition. It is not exhaustive definition. ಇನ್ನೇನಾರ ಹೊಸ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಗಳಿಗೆ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡಬಹುದು. ಅರ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದು ಗೊತ್ತು, ಮನೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿ ಊಟ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರು, ಹಸು ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬಂದ್ರು. ಇವಾಗೆಲ್ಲ ಯು ಗಾಟ್ PGs, ಯು ಗಾಟ್ ಕೇಟರರ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಗೆ ದಿವಸ ಊಟ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ದುಡ್ಡು ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. The PGs, you are given accommodation as well as the facility of food. You are charged per month so much, like that. So all these things, or all these ಹೊಸದು ಏನಾರ ಬಂತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ no problem, I will still include you as a part of income. Incomes includes any amount accruing to the assessee during the previous year. So what is assessee? What is previous year? All those things I'll explain in the next class. And you know that this C section have made a lot of unnecessary chattings and the class is suspended. So I expect that all of you adhere to the rules of the college. Try to know the best, because we are trying to do our best. Do not try to play with the teachers and do all such things. Therefore, see that you cooperate with the teachers, and whatever doubts you got, you can just ask that through messages or whatever. Or we'll keep a class for the open chatting for clearing your doubts. So we'll just take it in the next class. Do well. Have a good day.